synonyms, word by word meaning. Atma Antayami, indwelling supersoul. Yare, who? Yoga Sastre. In the scriptures of yoga, Seha, that, Govindera, of Govinda, Amsa, plenary portion, Vibhuti, expansion, Ye, which, Hoy, is. Translation. He who is described in the Yoga Sastras as the indwelling supersoul, Atma Antaryami, is also a plenary portion of Govinda's personal expansion. Purport by His Divine Grace La Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is by nature joyful. His enjoyments or pastimes are completely transcendental. He is in the fourth dimension of existence. For although the material world is measured by the limitation of length, breadth, and height, the Supreme Lord is completely unlimited in his body, form, and existence. He is not personally attached to any of the affairs within this material cosmos. The material world is created by the expansion of his Purusa avatars, who direct the aggregate material energy and all the conditioned souls. By understanding the three expansions of the Purusha, a living entity can transcend the position of knowing only the 24 elements of the material world. One of the expansions of Mahavishnu is Kshirodakshai Vishnu, the supersoul within every living entity. As the supersoul of the total aggregate of living entities, or the second Purusha, he is known as the Garbhodakshai Vishnu, as the creator of the original cause of the innumerable universes, or the first Purusha, who is lying in the causal ocean. He is called Mahavishnu. The three Purushas direct the affairs of the material world. The authorized scriptures direct the individual souls to revive the relationship with the supersoul. Indeed, the system of yoga is the process of transcending the influence of the material elements by establishing a connection with the Purusha known as Paramatma. One who has thoroughly studied the intricacies of creation can know very easily that this Paramatma is the plenary portion of the Supreme Being Sri Krishna. Let's offer our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakrumritam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Caitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Utapadakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sabishakhanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Krupa Sindhu Vacha Patitanang Pavanebhya Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Nilachara Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyang Jagannathaya Te Namah Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for joining today for our evening Chaitanya Charitamrita sessions. Like yesterday, we celebrated Aditya Acharya's appearance day. Officially, the Gauranga appearance day is approaching. Yesterday, starts the beginning of the festivals of the Gaur Leela. So today we are going to discuss the 18th sloka from the chapter 2 of Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are very nectarian, and I don't have qualification to glorify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but with all of your blessings and guidance of the senior Vaishnavas, I'd like to glorify this beautiful subject matter for my purification. So with all of your permission, so let's go deep into this verse now. So here we see that this particular chapter title is the Supreme Personality of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So all the time we say that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But here we see that chapter title is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We see that in this particular Chaitanya Charitamrita chapter, the Adi Leela, there are so many chapters are there. first 12 or 13 chapters are basically setting up the premises where the Adi Leela will start. Like first 12 chapters, there is no reference of, like how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are there. So initially, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami basically, he's trying to emphasize that first of all, we need to understand who is Krishna. Basically, he's trying to say that basically Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. Basically, he wants to emphasize that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. That Krishna basically is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. There is no difference between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna. Like later we see the beautiful bhajans are there which says that Jai Guru, Sai Krishna, Sai Jagannath. So Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Jagannath is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So with that understanding, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami basically he's putting a foundation stone so that when he is going to describe the sweet pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are not basically getting bewildered. Like we say, right? If the foundation is not strong, then if you construct a multi-story building, basically it collapses. So here our Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami basically he is making us strong enough is philosophically so that when the nectarian pastimes are exposed to us, we are going to grasp it properly and we are not getting bewildered, and our basically we can take the nectar in a proper way. So here in this purport here, Prabhupada has very beautifully described in the first one or two paragraph. Basically, he is described like the qualities of Krishna, like Krishna, how he is joyful, then about his existence, then how he is unlimited, then how he is not attached, about Krishna's qualities, then how Krishna is creating material world, and then last paragraph specifically he is saying that how we should connect with Krishna, and what actually our scriptures tell us, how to connect with Krishna. So with this basic understanding, let's go deep into it. So the first one, it says that Krishna by nature, basically, he is joyful. So we see that Krishna basically is reservoir of pleasure. Like whenever we see Krishna, Krishna is always in a smiling form. Like Krishna will be, we see let's talk about the Vrindavan pastime. Krishna we see is a makhanchor. Like we see there, like, in the Hindi movies or in the English movies, if you see, if a thief is coming, the thief is basically he has done a plan and he is entering and he is basically very stressed. Somebody might catch him, like that, and he is very scared, and he is putting a cover on his face that nobody is going to see him, like that. But here, when Krishna is going to steal butter into Gopi's house, he is not governing anything. He is totally, joyful. He's blissful. He's smiling. He's in fact going with his friends. He is, he's proclaiming that I am a thief. I'm a butter thief. He's not scared of it. Like we see that, and he's always he is, like he does stealing, and that stealing also he does in a style. Like everything he does, he has a particular rasa in that. Then, like there are so many monsters, so many demons Krishna has killed. Only fighting Krishna will be killing. Like there will be boxing will be there. We see like there is a beautiful pictures of Chanur and Mustik fighting with Krishna. In the Krishna book, if you see, there is a beautiful picture of Krishna is there. Handsome Krishna is there, and Krishna has a beautiful smile in that picture. If you see that picture is there. So Krishna basically by nature, he is very joyful. Like he is not, and how he is joyful. He is basically, he say that we tell them he is Kunja Vihari, he is Govinda, he is Gopal, and he is basically with always, he is basically Rasaraj. Different beautiful names of Krishna is there to describe that how joyful he is. They say that Krishna is always, he's the pleasure. He is basically personification of pleasure. He is the reservoir of all the pleasure. Like how many happiness, how many rasas are there, all the pleasures are there. Krishna is he is the reservoir. In Brahma Samhita, there is a line goes that Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitavis. That means that Krishna is basically full of bliss, and that is basically eternal. It's Saswata, it is eternal. It's not, if you see in material world, any beauty, if you see that beauty basically is temporary. Like if you see there is a somebody will be handsome and somebody will be beautiful, but that beauty is temporary. As the age progresses, the person becomes the person becomes older, the wrinkle comes, the joint pain starts. So many things are there, so many challenges are there. But Krishna, in case, it is different. Krishna is always beautiful. Krishna is always a 16-year-old boy. Like in Kurukshetra war also, if you see that Krishna has extended family, 16,000 queens, so many kids, grandkids are there. but Krishna is still ever youthful, and he is always beautiful, and he is always joyful. So by nature, Krishna is very beautiful, very joyful. So they said that there is a beautiful article in Back to Godhead magazine I read some time back. Krishna basically he is the this the writer has defined him as Krishna basically is the chief employment officer. Basically he is the architect, he is the designer, he is the developer, and he is the CEO. In a different way, he has told that is written that Krishna basically is the chief enjoyment officer. Like whatever enjoyment we see that we also want to do enjoy, right? Like we see that we inherit the traits of our parents. Like somebody's father is tall structure and short structure, the kid also become tall and short accordingly. Like they say that it genetically it goes. Similarly, if our Supreme Father Krishna, he wants to enjoy, so that way also we want to enjoy. We also want to be happy. We want to be happy, also be joyful. So but how to be joyful? That Prabhupada, he tells us differently in as we read Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. Now the next one here is next beautiful point here is that Krishna is in the four dimension of existence. So what do you mean by four dimension of existence? We see that there are two dimensions of existence. If a line is there, right, there's a length will be there, there will be breadth will be there. Now then it comes to three dimension, width will be there. Like I remember when we were kid, there was some movie was coming, and for that movie, if you go to hall, they will give you a special lens related a spectacle. You have to wear that one so that you will have a 3D effect. So that time it was very very attractive. That yes, there is a 3D movie has come. Now even in Statue of Liberty, there is a nearby, there is a Liberty Science Center is there also. There also we see 3D movies with that. So 3D movies, like sometimes if you see that actually be there, you will feel something nearby, you get so excited. But here Prabhupada is saying that there is a four dimension thing. So what do you mean by four dimension? Four dimension, is here in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's in the letter and in this particular chapter in I think 51st or 52nd verse. It says the mention of the word called Turiya. Turiya means like four dimension. So in the four dimension, basically, Lord Krishna, who has no contact with the material energy. Now, if we see in the three dimension, means length, breadth, and height, width, basically this is the material universe. They are basically, we all are associated with the material energy. So here it says that with that, Supreme Personality Godhead is basically you have to understand them in the four dimension of existence. Because in the material world, in this material world, everything you have to measure means you have to measure basically in three dimension. But for Krishna, basically, there is one extra thing, that is the four dimension, they say. That is that, because Krishna is beyond this material world. We say that, Krishna is beyond the material world. Why? Because Krishna, we cannot measure Krishna's dimension. We cannot measure Krishna's wealth. We cannot measure Krishna's beauty. We cannot measure anything. So that's why he is in the four dimension. So when we are in the three dimension world, like with length, breadth, and or height, that kind of concept, if we are here, then we are getting entangled by the material miseries. But when we are in the four dimension, when basically that means we are connecting with Krishna, then we are basically going beyond that. So Prabhupada explains in a letter in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Turiya, the four dimension. In this material world, there are three dimensions, length, breadth, and height. And in the spiritual world, beyond that, not within the measurement of length, breadth, and height. And that is called basically Turiya. So then another verse, in another line, it says that Lord is completely unlimited. Like there is no boundary for the Lord. Like and he is not also personally attached to any affairs. Like if we see that that there are anybody in this conditioned soul and in this material world, right? There are three modes are there: Sattva-guna, Raja-guna, and Tama-guna. Whatever we do, we get attached by these gunas. Anything we do, like we get the if we do good thing, we get good benefit. Otherwise, if we do the bad thing, we also get the reaction from that. So basically, whatever we do, we get attached to that. So, but in case of Krishna, basically he is the Krishna and the devotees in that form. Basically, what happens? These gunas basically they don't bind them. So, in case of Krishna, basically he instead of Sattva guna, basically he is in the Suddha Sattva guna. So that we can consider as the four dimension kind of thing. So in the three dimension world, we see that that we get we get basically attached by this Sattva guna, Raja guna, and Tama guna. But but when in the Vasudeva Sattva or the four dimensional states, we are not getting attached to that. So we should aspire always to get aspire always to be in the mode of goodness. And when we are in the mode of goodness, then with Guru, Sadhu, and Krishna's mercy, we will get this Suddha Sattva thing. Then we see that second verse, it says, second paragraph, it says that this material world, basically, it is created by the expansion of his Purusa avatar. So we see that specifically, there are three Purusas. These three Purusas, we see the Karnadaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and Kshirodaksha Vishnu. These three Purusas from who are coming out from Krishna, basically, they have a relationship with Maya. But above them is the fourth dimension, that is Lord Krishna, who has no relationship, basically no contact with the material energy. Same Krishna is there. From same Krishna, we see that Karnadaksha Vishnu is coming, Garbhodaksha Vishnu is coming, and Kshirodaksha Vishnu is coming. So all three, they are basically associated with the material energy. So from them, basically, that Mahavishnu inhales, and from them, all this material creation or material cosmos basically is getting created. So these three Purusas who lie on the Karnadaksha ocean or Garbhodaksha ocean or Kshirodaksha ocean respectively. So basically they are called super souls in all aspects. The Karnadaksha Vishnu, basically, he is the super soul of all the collective universes. And Garbhodaksha Vishnu is the super soul of all the collective living beings. And Kshirodaksha Vishnu, basically, he is the super soul of all living entities. Because all these three Vishnu, they are somehow attracted to the affairs of the material energy, they can be said to have some kind of affection or some kind of connection with Maya. But the transcendental position of Sri Krishna is such a way that he is not even tinged by Maya. That transcendental stage basically is called the Turiya, or the fourth dimension. And as we discussed earlier, that Krishna basically, he is beyond these three modes, three gunas. That's why Krishna is called Trigunatit. Now we see that Krishna basically is in Premasarovar, there is another verse also there, that Krishna basically Sarva Karanam Karanam. He is the cause of the all causes. Then Krishna basically, he is the beginning of everything. Krishna basically, and then he is basically Bhagavan. Now we see in our Vaishnava philosophy, there are three things. Then we have this Brahma realization, then we have Paramatma realization, then we have Bhagavan realization. Krishna basically is Bhagavan. So we say that there is, our Acharya says that Krishna is to Bhagavan Swayam. We can understand that same Krishna is there, but the same Krishna in different situations, he comes in different incarnations. From same Krishna, because of the creation, the three Purusas are there. The same Krishna coming as Lord Ram. Same Krishna is also now in this Kali Yuga. He is coming as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But the potency is always same. But depending on the the situation, Krishna takes different forms. Just like a person, he is a father, and sometimes he's a high court judge. And sometimes he goes to store to get vegetables, and sometimes he goes to school to drop the child. So depending on the situation, the same person behaves in different situations, and he takes different roles. Similarly, same Krishna, he is basically the supreme personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, and the same Krishna is coming in different forms. That same Krishna here, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is trying to establish here that same Krishna basically is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, and how to understand Krishna? We cannot understand Krishna just like that. We are conditioned material souls. It's very difficult to understand something which is beyond our conception. Like we are human beings. We have basically our bodies consist of these material elements. For us, everything is material. Like our senses are also material, our ear also is material, and whatever we're hearing also material. So with that, it is very difficult to understand Krishna. Like Albert Einstein says that we cannot solve our problem with the same level of thinking that created them. So we have to go beyond that. We have to go something beyond, so that we can think in a different way, so that we can solve our problems. So similarly, with this material things, we cannot solve our problem. So we have to basically go beyond that. So, and here there is a question, there always, the thought comes that this is Chaitanya Charitamrita, why we are reading all this about Krishna? Why we are talking about, like Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead? Why about this material creation? How Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Kshirodaksha Vishnu, and Karnadaksha Vishnu all are coming into picture? There is a beautiful line from our Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur always he says, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita also it is mentioned, that Siddhanta boliye chitte nakara alaso, yaha hoite Krishna lage sudhrudha manaso. That means that we have to be always, be specific about reading scriptures. We should read scriptures in such a way that our fundamental is always very strong. When our fundamental is strong and we basically, what will happen? Then, like Krishna, Krishna basically, he will not appear to us like an ordinary human being. And our conviction and faith on Krishna consciousness, basically, it will increase more and more. Now, you see here, like when we are having a Sunday feast, prasadam is there, we see prasadam line is there. First, rice and dal will get served. Then appetizer will be there, and some other items will be there. Puri will be there. Finally comes the halwa or the kheer. So why this halwa and kheer is towards the end? Halwa and kheer basically is just very tasty. It is very tempting. But when we're serving the prasadam, first we give the staple diet like rice and dal we give. Why? Because first our basically our stomachs will be full with good nutrients. After the good nutrients, at the end we are giving the sweet. Without the sweet, basically our meal is not complete. Similarly, this Chaitanya Charitamrita, if you see here, or Bhagavatam, if we see here, Chaitanya Charitamrita, basically we're glorifying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Bhagavatam, basically we read about different pastimes of representative Godhead Krishna and his devotees. So even like while reading Bhagavatam, also we see first canto, second canto, and third canto, we see there are a lot of philosophies are there. It's always described, about this creation and how it is created, how Karnadaksha Vishnu is there, how Garbhodaksha Vishnu is there, how then the concept of Bhagavan is there, then these material elements are there, how Mahatattva is basically is formed. All these discussions are there. So after that, basically in the 10th chapter, when it comes about the Krishna's pastimes are there. Similarly, here also we see that so many philosophies involved in the beginning place. So here basically Krishnadas Goviraj Goswami is setting up a foundation here so that we can understand that who is basically Krishna and who is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that Supreme Personality of Godhead, basically Krishna, has basically come to this material world now, a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And if you see your past, second and third chapter, it totally discuss about who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and why he has come here. It goes by that. Then later on, it goes by the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like we had appearance of Aditya is there. So there is a discussion of him. Then there is a discussion of Nityananda Prabhu, like all his associates are there. Then towards the 10th, 11th, and 12th chapter, then extended associates discussion is there. So after Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, basically he just want to make sure that before entering the sweet pastimes and entering into the sweet pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, basically the stage is set for us so that we can understand it in a proper way. Now the next part is that how to connect with Krishna. So always, like we have towards the last part, in the last paragraph, it says that the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, basically, he is residing in our heart as Paramatma, and we should hear and connect with Paramatma. And how to hear? And as we are in this material world, our goal should be always to connect with Krishna. And in scripture, it says that Jibera Surupoi Krishna Nitya Das. Basically, we always should try how to serve Krishna. But how to serve Krishna and how we should connect with Krishna. So there are few discussion points just wanted to discuss now with now. Basically, our Acharya says that we should act everything for Krishna under the proper guidance of Guru and Gauranga. So they say that we have to do everything for Krishna. Basically, Prabhupada always used the word that total everything in Krishna consciousness, and that way you do our duty. Like if you are a mother, then basically as a mother, our duty is to raise a Krishna conscious child. And if you are a father also, we should, the father should also aspire to do the same way. If you're going to a office, and we should be a good worker, so that good worker, and if you're getting as a grihastha, basically, grihastha basically, it is defined as grihastha ashram. Like we have ashramas are there, right? So grihastha basically is ashram. In the grihastha ashram, basically, the role of a parents are basically to raise the child in such a way that they can become an instrumental in spreading Srila Prabhupada's mission. So anything we do, like if you're eating, we should take prasadam. If you are buying a car, we should engage the car in such a way that we should go to temple, or if we are going to buy the grocery, we should buy the grocery to offer it to Krishna. Then at the end we should offer it to Krishna and we should honor prasadam. Then we should help in constructing beautiful temples. We should help in like printing books for like book distribution. We can take the examples of Ambarish Prabhu. Ambarish Prabhu, basically he belongs to basically Ford, Henry Ford. Now we see how he is helping in constructing a magnificent temple in Mayapur. So then next thing is like how to connect with Krishna. So there are two things basically, like with Guru's mercy we get connected to Krishna, and the other way also, by Krishna's mercy also we get connected to Guru. So in our establishing our bhakti lata service, the two things are very essential. One is Guru and another is Krishna Kripa. So with Guru and Krishna Kripa, one can get easily a bhakti lata bij. So we should always aspire to get association of Guru and Varangas. Then next thing is Nama. Atha Sri Krishna Namadi. Like if you say that Krishna has put all his power in the name. If you see in Sikshashtakam, the last verse, the emphasis is given on the Nama. So Nama Adi means the beginning. So if you see that we don't have any connection with Krishna, only when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, immediately our first chance is to connect with Krishna. Srila Prabhupada is very merciful and very kind to us. He has given us the 16-syllable mantras. He could have earlier, if you see, these mantras were not even chanted very loudly. Everybody will be chanting very slowly within their mind. They won't be doing any congregational chanting. But our acharyas are so merciful. Basically, acharyas basically yuga parivartanakari. Basically, what they do, they basically help the conditioned souls how to get out of this material world, how to basically connect with Krishna. They see that how they're getting so much bliss and how they're staying happy and how they're connecting with Krishna. So they also help us to connect with Krishna by giving us this beautiful giving us this beautiful mantras so that we can connect with Krishna. So as when we are chanting the 16-syllable mantras, this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, then basically what happens, we have a test for it. Slowly what happens, we get a test for chanting. More we chant, slowly what happens, we get our chanting becomes more and more purified. Like we should also aspire in the early morning time to do proper chanting, and also to chant to the senior Vaishnavas. If you go to Mayapur and Vrindavan, early morning, if you see that around 4:30 or 5 o'clock, everybody will be sitting down to chant. And senior some Acharya, senior Vaishnava, senior Maharaj will be there. Everybody will be trying to aspiring to sit next to them and to chant. So first thing, they get association, then they do Harinam association. Then association of the Vaishnavas we are talking, right? So when we see the association of the Vaishnavas, like we see that there is a line that Labha Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. But sometimes, we are hesitant to do Vaishnava association. Or sometimes, there is a fear in my mind. But to these Vaishnavas are there. They are unnecessarily. They will come and they will know my secrets. They might ask me. I'm happy with doing my 8 rounds, but if I mix more with them, they'll ask me to leave certain things which I am not comfortable with, and thus that fear is there. Then sometimes, they will ask me to read Bhagavad Gita, distribute Bhagavad Gita, do some services. So that fear is there. Sometimes in that fear, we try to avoid them. Then sometimes we become shy. Some senior Vaishnava will be there. Some we see that he is there, but sometimes we shy to approach them. Now what he's going to think about us, like those kind of feeling is there. Then sometimes there's a pride that we see a Vaishnava is there. That pride is in our mind. Sometimes the pride, like comes like a snake coming out. The pride comes within us. The pride says that I am a senior devotee. I am in ISKCON in this movement from last 15 year, 20 year. I did Sunday feast so nicely, and why should I ask him? I am also reading Bhagavatam. They are also reading Bhagavatam. What extra they are doing? So that pride sometimes, it affects us to have basically it prohibits us basically to do a Vaishnava association. So because of we should, we should try as much as possible not to have these 3 feelings towards any Vaishnava and to connect with them. Because these Vaishnavas they are basically the gateway to connect with Krishna. So you can see that there will be muddy pond will be there. In the muddy pond, there will be pebbles will be there. So when you are crossing that muddy pond with the pebbles, you cannot cross it easily. So you need a stick to cross. So in this material world with so many obstacles all around, like they say that this Jada Jagat is such a way that padam padam vipadam, they say. So basically, we need a Vaishnava association. These Vaishnavas are kind of these strong rods. Holding them tightly, basically, we can cross this road. So as far as possible, we should connect with Vaishnavas, because with the Vaishnava association, what can happen? We can connect with Krishna, who is basically within our heart is Paramatma. Then next thing is we can understand that there is no difference between Krishna and his rupa, guna, and his activities. Krishna also has come to in this material world in the sound form, also in this literature form of Bhagavad Gita. So we should aspire always to listen Harikatha or read Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. Then the next thing is seeing everything in Krishna's connection. Our Rupa Goswami says, Nirbandha Krishna Sambandha. Basically, whatever we are doing, we should establish a sambandha with Krishna. We should establish a relationship with Krishna. So sometimes, devotees, they say, by Krishna's arrangement, this happened. Krishna's arrangement, that happened. We cannot imitate it that, by Krishna's arrangement, that this devotee has told by Krishna's arrangement, it happened. We cannot say by doing the imitation. It should come from within our heart that yes, Krishna is my protector. Whatever Krishna is doing is like for my benefit. We cannot in our mind, it should be that, I have done this. But we cannot say in our word that yes, by Krishna's arrangement, it has done. We should feel it that like the good devotees say that by Krishna's arrangement, it has there. Prabhupada always used to say, but I see Krishna's hand everywhere. So there was a reporter once who asked Srila Prabhupada that, have you seen Krishna? I want to see Krishna. Srila Prabhupada told, I see Krishna's hand everywhere. He told, but how to see Krishna? Then Prabhupada really asked him, really, do you want to see Krishna? Then he didn't say anything, and then he left. So Prabhupada told his disciples that to see Krishna, basically you have to read my books. If you read my books or hear to my lecture, then definitely you will see Krishna. Then someday, like Krishna, basically he provides all the necessities to us. Then one reporter then asked Srila Prabhupada, so you have constructed so many wonderful, magnificent temples, you have so many disciples. From where do you get this money? Then Prabhupada fondly replied that Krishna gives me money. Then the person laughed and he told, how can you say that Krishna give you money? But I tell you, tell me clearly that how do you get the money? Then Prabhupada responded, looked at him and they tell, the same Krishna who is in your heart, if he tells you that give this Swami $100 or $200, you will come to me and give me $200. That's how I get money, and from that basically I print books and I write literatures, and my disciples basically they print books and we sell books, and that's how basically we construct the temples. So that is all by Krishna's arrangement. So to understand and see that everything is Krishna's arrangement, but the person has to come to an advanced stage. It cannot be imitated. The next thing is, the last part it says here if we read the purport, the last thing it says here, let me go to the last line. That one who has thoroughly studied the intricacies of creation can know easily that this Paramatma is the plenary person of the Supreme Being, Sri Krishna. And the authorized scriptures direct the individual soul to revive the relationship with Super Soul. Indeed, the system of yoga is the process of transcending the influence of the material elements by establishing a connection with the Purusha known as Paramatma. So they say that, the Paramatma, basically, he is sitting in our heart. And how to see that how basically Paramatma, basically, he is basically witnessing everything. In Mandukya Upanishad, we see the emphasis of, two birds. One is in our heart, basically, soul is there and the super soul is there. Though this Paramatma, basically, he's so kind to us, like he's basically sitting with us. Like this, like we might be in this material world today as a human form, but we might have been in a different form in our last life. The same Paramatma also was there. So we might have done something good. So because of that, we got a human body. And on top of that, definitely we had some prarabdha good karma, that we have good association, and we are able to read about Srila Prabhupada books, and we are able to understand what is basically expected from us, and basically are understanding who we are and what is our relationship with Krishna and who Krishna is. So how to basically so basically all the literatures and all the scriptures are there, right? So their main goal is basically to connect the soul with the super soul. All the yoga sutras we see, right? Yoga means what? Yoga means basically connection. Means yoga means basically they say the addition one, basically yoga. Yeah. So yoga basically you can say it's a ladder. So if you can climb on a climb on a ladder. So here Prabhupada is saying that all the literature should have a goal that they will let us set up a relations with super soul. And how to do that? That is only possible because by the mercy of Guru, Sadhu, and by reading Shastra. So here and and finally, what will happen? We'll understand that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. That Krishna basically is our Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. He is saying here that Supreme Personality of Godhead basically he Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is also residing in our heart as Paramatma. So with this, would like to end today's discussion. And here today we discuss about Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna and his beautiful qualities, and how Krishna is beyond these three modes and how he is in the four dimension of existence. So with this, let's end the discussion. And Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Hari Bol.
Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Nice
Krishna
class.
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Only I have one question. You mentioned about Karuna Dakshai Vishnu, Siro Dakshai Vishnu, and Garbho Dakshai Vishnu. All three lies in the Sri Sagar.
No, Mataji, Karna Dakshai Vishnu is there is a Karna Ocean, the Kajal Ocean is there. He lies over there. From then we have this Garbho Dakshai Ocean, ocean. So there, our Garbho Dakshai Vishnu is there. Then Kilo Dakshai Vishnu is
It is in our heart, right?
Yeah, they say in the milk ocean. So basically, he is in our heart. Is Paramatma, basically he enters into our heart.
So only one Karuna Dakshai Vishnu lies in Sri Sagar.
No, he is in the Kajal Ocean, Karna Dakshai Ocean.
Okay. So in Garbho Dakshai lies in the
Garbho Dakshai Ocean. No, Kiro Dakshai Vishnu Mataji is in the Kiro Sagar.
I see. Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Mataji, one question. So you were also mentioning earlier that on our own, we will not be able to know Krishna with all our conditioning and all this. So we'll not be able to know and understand Krishna. So in that case, so we need a mercy or grace from Guru and Krishna. Without that, even if we have intention to know Krishna, so because that is the basis, right? Without that, even if Guru and Krishna, right, that grace is not even relevant. So first we need to have the basis to intention. Then we will get grace from Guru and Krishna. But my question is, do we really have to know someone to love? Let's say, for example, mother-child analogy, right? So mother obviously want to, always think of the child and his activities and all these things, which will increase her love towards the child. But same analogy, if you bring it here, so if we keep hearing and all that about Krishna, so we can develop love. And then what is the role Guru plays there?
Yes, very important question, Prabhu, and we can discuss it and so in detail. So basically, if any mother-child relationship is there, right? So mother knows what exactly the child needs. So he knows about the child. Suppose just think an example, like suppose the child is having some kind of problem, some disease is there. So doctor tells mother that this is what your child is going through. You have to give him this kind of food, that kind of thing. So that way, mother is basically helping the child getting better, right? Without that, mother's love is there, but mother can feed the child certain things which can be harming the baby, harming the child also. But mother's love is also there. So mother love, nobody can beat it. But when there is a problem, the doctor comes into picture and advise the mother. Like for example, like let me share with my example. Like my daughter has certain allergies. I know that feeding nuts, we are vegetarian, I can feed her nuts, almonds, and everything I can feed her. She can become strong. That is my love. I know. But I don't know that, my daughter is allergic to nuts. I keep on feeding, the allergy reaction will start. I take her to doctor. If I then doctor prescribes certain things and he tells that no, you cannot give her any nuts. So I change my diet. So that way I follow. My love again, increases. So it goes in a smooth direction. Similarly, going back to your question, like just hearing. So it is now sometimes, like we like to certain things to hear. We like particular aspect to hear about Krishna. So we like to hear that. Sometimes we hear so many things, like with this WhatsApp university, so many forwards come. Like sometimes if you see, like Krishna can be portrayed in a little bit different way. But Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. When we hear from a Acharya, who is coming from a parampara, basically Krishna, if you see read Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has told this Bhagavad Gita to basically sun god. From that, it goes by that finally Krishna is telling about Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Similarly, when it is coming to the parampara, it becomes more and more nectar. Like if you see that mango is coming, right? The mango is coming rising in a tree. Mango is in a tree, basically is in tree. You know mango is there. You directly go and try to hit a stone from bottom. The mango is falling down. Mango is damaged to you. Yes, you are getting to eat the mango. But sometimes if you don't know, you will get ripe mango, you will get a green mango or a green mango. So then, but when you are getting the mango, when a person is sitting in the mango tree, he is plucking the mango and he is giving to the mango to the person who is sitting in the next branch. Like that, you are holding the mango, you are tasting it more and more. So again, now going back to this, like what you want to read, basically you will read. So basically, certain aspect of Krishna you want to read. Krishna basically is Purna Purushottam. If you read Krishna about the 360-degree point of view from all aspects, you will love Krishna more and more. You will love Krishna in 100%. Your faith and belief on Krishna will be 100% if you're going to read through acharyas. But if you are going to read just like that, and from certain acharyas who are not coming from the bona fide or discipline succession also, then you don't know sometimes what you are reading. You might read Krishna in certain way that might not be also appropriate. And later somebody will tell something about Krishna to you or some of the philosophy to you. You are bewildered and you are not, because your faith is not strong, your conviction is not strong, you are not able to basically justify yourself. So that is the goal of a Acharya and the sadhu, like coming over there. Through basically them, you are basically seeing Krishna in a better way. Is that okay, Prabhuji?
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So on our own, even if we try to read and hear about Krishna from the scriptures,
Definitely,
it's
Prabhuji, you
hard
can
to
read
understand,
scriptures.
hard to get it. So that's why
Yeah,
Guru gives that, right? So because he has seen the
yes. He has
realized
seen
the
a better
knowledge.
truth
So
than you. Like a physics
right.
problem, if you see, there are many ways to solve a physics problem. But you go to a tutor, the tutor will tell you this is the better way to solve the problem. So you will, sometimes, like you might be doing a wrong approach to solve the problem. But a physics tutor, since he has done that mastery in physics, he will tell you the better way to how to solve the problem. Similarly, a guru will tell you, or a spiritual sadhaka will tell you, who is coming under a parampara. Basically, he has basically read more shastra and he has seen the more truth and he is realized. He's basically, and his senses are also, like more purified. So from them, if you hear the way you will see Krishna will be better.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Any other discussion point or anything? Otherwise, we can end today's discussion. Simeswar Prabhu, if you're around, if there is nothing to discuss, can we end today's class then?
Mataji, he looks like he's busy, so we can do.
Sure, Mataji. Let's.
We can do the prayer. Vanchakar.
Yeah. Panchakatpatharubhascha कृपा सिंधुभ्यश्च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. वैष्णव वृंद की जय.
Jai.
Jai.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Mataji.
Haribol.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Haribol.
Hare Bol.
Very much.